Yes.
Okay, we'll start off with review of disclosure and disclaimers. Dia.
So we did distribute the disclosures and disclaimers in the packet on Friday. The only one I'd like to draw your attention to is found on page 27. Delegate Kaiser filed a disclaimer of an apparent or presumed conflict of interest with respect to a bill that is creating the Institute of Public Leadership at the University of Maryland. She noted in her explanation that she's been tasked with helping create the new institute. So I just wanted to flag that for you so you could decide if disclaiming the conflict is sufficient or if recusal would be the better option.
Okay, this deals with, if my memories are correct, teaching, mainly teaching versus administrative kind of duties. No?
No, this is just, she filed a.
Oh, that's it. That's another one we're looking at. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
So the question is, the bill is basically creating, or the bill is authorizing this institute to be created, and she's being tasked with creating the institute. So the question for you is, is that too close? Should she recuse herself?
I don't think that it's a conflict myself. I just don't see that it is.
Well, we've got a few hands up. Senator King, did you want to? I think someone said, "Why not?" If someone was asking, why you?
I did.
Delegate McComas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Oh, I think you're muted.
My concern is I know that she is very, very, what do I want to say, skilled, very passionate about public service. But I guess what my concern is that the way the ethics are written right now, and I don't know if it's a rule or the law, is it kind of says teaching and doesn't say anything about.
May I interject? May I interject? This question is not an advice question. This is a disclaimer that she has filed. So the question is not related to her duties, but rather, can she vote on a bill that's creating an institute that she is proposing to work in? It doesn't have anything to do with her duties.
But if she votes for the institute, she's employed and that's part of her job, right? So I guess I kind of have, if that's the only issue, it's going to pass. Anything that they want to do is most likely to pass. The university system has some of the best, most able, competent, highly paid lobbyists. It's going to pass. So I think, I think it would be the better practice that she just recused herself, but that's me. So whatever we got wiser heads, more diverse heads here. So, but I just think it's, what I'm saying? It would be different if it was like she was the deciding vote.
I think she is comfortable with recusing herself.
Well, I think that would be the better course. The better course.
Delegate Kipke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Madam Chairman. I would just say that while there's really no conflict, there could be the perception of it. And because of the perception of it, I would like to be told to recuse myself. I don't like to recuse myself willy-nilly, but I would like to be told to do it in instances where there would be the perception of there being a conflict. Since it's a new program and it's some place where she may end up having responsibilities once it's established, or she's indicated that she'll have responsibilities there, and it's not an existing place at the university. It seems to me that there's at least the perception. Thank you.
Senator Griffith, you had your hand up. Did you take it down?
I did, because Delegate Kipke captured what I was going to say.
Very good. Senator Klossmeyer.
I think Delegate Kipke said it all the way. If you're going to build a business and all of a sudden you had to vote on it, You know, I think she'll feel more comfortable just not voting for it, recusing herself.
Delegate Rosenberg.
Isn't Delegate Kaiser the director of the Institute?
She's currently not the institute does not exist right now.
But
But
you
what
will
is,
be.
isn't it expected, or do we know? I think that's relevant.
She was tasked with creating the institute.
Okay. I concur with what my colleagues have said and what Delegate Kipke said well.
Senator Feldman.
Yeah, just so I'm clear, when we send her some advice, or is it a letter, or is it verbal? Are we saying, you know, that although it may not require recusal, that the committee suggests or recommend that would be appropriate here, or are we saying that under our rules recusal is required? I don't want to be nuanced too much about this, but it does seem a little different. I just want to make clear, what are we being asked to advise on, whether is it, or it could be both or either or whatever. I'll associate myself with the Kipke comments. I mean, I think this is really like, I mean, I don't even think it's that close a call. I think it's actually a really narrow kind of thing she's responsible for. The bill is sort of narrow. It's not some sort of broad thing that it impacts like a lot of other folks in our state. So I think she absolutely should recuse herself if required, but I'm just asking if that's what the letter or verbal advice is.
So when we look at what the requirement for recusal is, it says you need to, let me go back a step. When we're talking about recusal for government employees, we say that an employee of a state or a local governmental entity should recuse themselves from legislation that is making substantive administrative changes to their agency, is setting their salary,
It seems like a pretty substantive administrative thing when the
right
of where she's going to be working is the subject of the bill. I don't know how more, I mean, I'm not quite sure how much, to me, I don't really see how that's a close call. Like if that doesn't call for recusal, I'm not quite sure. There are other examples where it would even be to me pretty. Thank you.
Delegate Stein, welcome to the committee. And your first question is.
That's right.
Comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair. Yeah, I agree with Senator Feldman. I think it's a straightforward case where she should recuse herself.
Anybody else?
Did you see
Go
Delegate
ahead,
Rosenberg?
Delegate.
Delegate Rosenberg, I don't know if he had a chance. Okay, his hand was up. He said no.
I spoke.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think we got everybody. Seems like it's unanimous comment, so someone want to make a motion?
Okay, I'll move that we advise Delegate Kaiser that she should recuse herself under relevant provisions.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. It's easier, I think, with the screen. Just say, is anybody opposed to the motion? I see none. Dr. Bartle, you see any?
I do not.
Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Dia?
If we don't have any other questions on the disclosures and disclaimers, I would recommend that someone make a motion to move into closed session.
I move that we move to closed session.
Second.
Under subsection 5-5117.
Yeah, that.
We want to add that in there.
To discuss matters that are not permitted to be, that are required to be discussed in closed session only.
Right. No opposition to that. We will close the meeting. So hang loose for a little